Yet more smiles and chuckles from a nation that's increasingly embracing a hardcore interpretation of the religion of peace. With few exceptions, men and women can no longer dine together in a region of Indonesia as Sharia law is further implemented. Well, this just in from the Daily Mail, a strict Islamic district in Indonesia has now banned men and women from dining together unless they're either married or related. And why would that be, you ask? Well, it's to make sure the females are, quote, more obedient and well-behaved, end quote. No, we're not talking about female dogs going to obedience school, mind you. We're talking human females. You know, it must be such a joy being a female living in an Islamic republic with strictly enforced Sharia law, eh? And so it is that the no-fun fundamentalists running Indonesia's deeply Islamic Aceh province, well, they say that it's time's up for guys and gals grabbing lunch together. In a way, it's understandable, I suppose. I mean, if you're going to allow unmarried couples to eat together in public, what other brazen immorality awaits? I mean, what if they start holding hands or gasp hugging? I mean, the next thing you know, you're practically living in Sodom and Gomorrah, right? But hang on, I think we have some reaction from the feminists in the West. Here goes. Surely some mistake. That sounded like a whole lot of nothing. Oh well, maybe the feminists are too busy organizing awareness campaigns to change the name of manhole to personhole, or cultural sensitivity, this being the protected species that is Islam. Go figure. In any event, the new sex-segregated dining rule is reportedly the latest wild and crazy Sharia implementation in Indonesia. And these mullahs mean business, let me tell you. You break an etiquette rule in these parts, well, trust me, folks, you don't want to break any rules in these parts. Because that means getting publicly whipped if you're found guilty of, say, gambling or having a beer or being homosexual. Holy heartbreak, that last one can't be true. Well, indeed it is, and there have been some dire consequences. For example, a recent Time magazine article notes that HIV rates among gay men in Indonesia have increased fivefold from 5% in 2007 to 25% in 2015. Outreach workers and human rights observers note that without access to education and other services, the HIV epidemic among gay Indonesian men will only get increasingly worse, especially in major urban centers. Sadly, if you're gay in Indonesia's Aceh province these days, you'd best stay in the closet. The de rigueur punishment if one is outed involves a public flogging, typically consisting of some 87 lashes. By the way, check out this photo of a morality cop during the caning. Wow, what a costume. But I thought Halloween was forbidden under Sharia law too. Oh well, in any event, let's check in with the spokesthingies at the LGBTTTIQQAAPP and sometimes Y community to see what they have to say. Don't want to come across as being Islamophobic after all, because surely there can be nothing worse than that. Indeed, you may recall how last September, Canada's Ministry of Propaganda, Canada's state broadcaster, the CBC, ran a story that actually defended Sharia law. The headline even stated that Sharia is, quote, not to be feared, end quote. The article went on to quote a Liberal MP and several spiritual leaders who defended the anti-free speech motion M103 and explained how Sharia is already in Canada and that it only governs religious practices and that it only applies to people inside the Muslim community. This apologist piece even included a quote from a Sharia advocate saying that those who oppose M103 and those who fear Sharia law are motivated by, quote, bigotry, plain and simple, end quote. So in the final analysis, sexism and homophobia is bad, unless sexism and homophobia is being carried out in the name of Allah, in which case it's good. And if you don't think it's okay, then you are the one with the problem because you are obviously a bigot or a racist or an Islamophobe. Complicated, isn't it? For the Rebel.media, I'm David the Menzoid Menzies. Hey folks, the Rebel has a new app. Please download that app and take the Rebel with you wherever you go.